everybody, Excalibur here, and I've got another unboxing for you. This time it comes from SolarFlare Games. Let's see here, what do we have? We have an ad for Dawn of the Archmage, and unfortunately that Kickstarter was canceled, and they're going to be relaunching it. So hopefully they do what they need to do and get what they need to get done there. This is for Archmage Origins by SolarFlare Games. And let us go ahead and take a look here and see what this is. This is, in the time before the dawn, the mages of Sorcado were locked in a constant struggle for power. They gathered and battled for control of the monsters, building a force they could use to destroy their rivals. For 2 to 4, and it comes in a tuck box, which is good and bad, because if I want to sleeve this, the tuck box is going to go away. Let me grab the knife of face maiming and we will create our first unwrapping. Unfortunately, this has the shrink wrap on there instead of the standard cellophane with the little untwisty thing, which means it's not super duper easy to open, but it's easy enough. I'll just set that right there for now. Okay, and they have a piece of tape over that, which if they're going to cellophane shrink wrap it, this is relatively not needed. So let's get in there and get that sliced, and we'll take a look at the cards inside. And of course they inside are also shrink wrapped. Looks like I've got a little bit of an issue with my tuck box, which I'm not going to worry too much about because the tuck box is probably going to be unfolded and put in another box. So we have 4 tokens that came in this box. I'm not sure what the factions or clans or mages are. We have our instructions, which are pretty straightforward. It's just one sheet. I mean, the artwork is pretty fantastic. We have 56 cards, and it shows how to set up your board. And then on the back, there's this. So what we have here, we have the Demonologist, we have the Technomancer, the Elementalist, and the Necromancer. Those are the different factions. Okay, so those are the rules. That is the rules. Those are the factions. And then we have another shrink-wrapped baggie. So let's go ahead and get these guys out of the shrink. We're going to need the knife of face maiming yet again. But at least we have a corner that we can slice into and open this up. So let's see here. I just don't like damaging the cards because of the shrink wrap. That's why I like having the little unwrapper kind of thing. I don't know what they're called. It's like an aglet on a shoe. You don't know what it's called until somebody mentions it. So there we go. So here we go. This is the backs of the cards. Looks like we've got the Demonologists here. The Technomancers. There we go. Yeah, definitely they're separated by faction. There's the Technomancers. There's the Necromancers. Elementalists. And the Demonologists. And these are generic, I believe. So let's take a look. I don't know how the game works. We'll look at a couple of the cards here. So this guy here is a +1 Elementalist. Its value is 1, apparently. +1 to the value of this minion if captured by the Elementalist. So I don't know what the objective is. So let's take a look and see what that objective is. And we'll look at the cards in a second. The objective. Players take turns observing and manipulating the field of monsters by peeking at cards and deviously moving the monsters. Players strategically place their mage cards to compel monsters to join their army. The mage controlling the strongest force of monsters wins. So accordingly, I guess what we're doing is we have all these monsters face down, and those are the black cards. Those are the monsters. And I believe these are all the force powers. And you're trying to manipulate the cards in such a way that the number on the upper left actually, when summed together, creates a larger field. Now, the junk about this, there is no card breakdown. You don't know what everything means. So, looking at this, I see ones, and I see the Necromancer and a hand. And some copyright stuff at the bottom, and who the artist is, and stuff like that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at these. We'll just take a look at the Necromancers. So it looks like we have different values. It looks like they're consecutive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is the highest. And then we've got a hold spell and a darkness spell. So I believe these are going to be your mage cards. And hold monster, discard this card at any time on your turn. Once discarded, place your hold monster token on a monster card of your choice. Discard this card to target 2 enemy mage cards and then swap their position without looking at them. So you've got darkness, which allows you to manipulate your opponents, and then you've got hold monster, and it looks like these are one-shots. And then these are the strength of your army. So that was Necromancer. That was pretty straightforward. These are hold tokens, therefore. So you put this to keep the monster that you want from moving. A monster card with a hold monster token on it cannot be peeked at nor moved except when specifically allowed by another card. So if we take a look at the Technomancers, which are the blues, we've got 1 through 8 as normal, and instead of the mummy hand, we've got like a blue cybernetic genie smoky electric-y thingy going on. And they've got a hold monster, but they've got a teleport. Discard this card to target any 2 of your own mage cards around the outside of the play area. Then swap the location of these. So this is your own, whereas the Necromancer darkness is to swap enemy mage cards. Okay. The Elementalist. Let's go ahead and grab them. They have the standard, and they've got a flaming hand. And their spells are Hold and Fireball. And the Fireball is discard this card to choose a monster on the table as a target of this spell, including monsters that are held. Flip that card over. If it is any creature other than the dragon, remove it from the game. If it is the dragon, it is unaffected and leave it face up. So that lets you reveal a monster and get rid of held monsters. So you could probably be sneaky and put your hold on a really inexpensive critter and trick somebody into using their fireball. Okay, and the teleport is, and I think I showed you teleport, but there it is. There's the teleport. So now the Demonologist. Let's take a look at that dude. So here we go, 7 and 8. There we go. All 8 cards, and it's got, of course, the summoning circle and the demonish tattooed hand. It's got a hold monster, as the other ones do. Same artwork. But they have Dimension Door. There we go. That's what it looks like. Discard this card and pick 2 of the monster cards on the table as targets. Swap the location of those cards without looking at them. This can affect monsters with a hold monster token on them. So the Demonologist allows you to swap held monsters in addition to normal monsters. So 1 destroys creatures on the board, 1 swaps creatures on the board, 1 swaps enemy mages, and 1 swaps your mage stuff. So there we go. And now we have all the monsters, and they have either a straight 1 or a +1. Okay, I've got to show you this guy. Here we go. A goblin. Thwack is not just his name, it is also his passion. So he likes to thwack things. So like we showed with this guy here, it looks like it's a wind elemental. It's a +1 elemental power. Looks like it's a power 1 and down here it's going to say +1 to the value of the minion if captured by an Elementalist. So if it's captured by an Elementalist, this guy's a 2. Otherwise, he is a 1. Then I showed you Thwack. Then we have this Imp, it looks like. And it gets a +1 if it's a Demonologist. And then we have this, it doesn't actually say what it is, but it is a 1 and +1 for the Technomancer. And then we've got a Skeleton, which is 1, and then a +1 if it's a Necromancer. And then this guy is -1 for Necromancer, -1 for Demonologist, -1 for Elementalist. And then we have Lash, who seems to be the level 2 critter, named critter. And then here we go, we've got -1 to the Technomancer. And then the Task is level 3. And Durtuk, Woody the Owlbear, Chimera, Ogre, and the Dragon. And that's it. That's all the monsters. That's how many monster cards are there? That is 16 monster cards, and since it's played in a 4x4 grid, you're playing with all of them all the time. And that's kind of short-sighted in my opinion, because the replayability goes down. I mean, you'll be able to play it a couple of times without any issues, but once everybody knows the monsters and everything, I mean, yeah, they're going to be rearranged, but you're going to see the same things over and over and over and over again. You're not going to have any variation in the monsters. They're always going to be these monsters. So, unless there's an expansion, this is going to get like maybe 4 or 5 plays, at least with my group. If that, and then that will be it. But it's a pretty interesting deal. So, you're taking these cards here, not Darkness, come on, these cards here, and you're putting them along the outside of your 4x4 grid, and you're trying to get your cards to match up with everything. And I'm not sure exactly how many you do or what you do, but we'll learn as we go along. You'll get a picture of this on my Instagram account sooner rather than later, and I will be playing this at my next game session. We're going to see how well this works out. Let's see, and that will be probably Friday, maybe Sunday. So this is 2 to 4 players, 10 to 20 minutes, definitely a filler game, and ages 8 or higher. So this has been the unboxing of Archmage Origins by SolarFlare Games. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And as always, this is Excalibur, and I am out. And this is actually for Archmage Oranges. Archmage Oranges?